Hi, I'm Siobhan Hagan, the Memory Lab Network Project Manager for DC Public Library. I'm here today to talk to you about bringing preservation to the people through the Memory Lab Network. The Memory Lab at DC Public Library is a place where anyone with a public library card can come in and digitize their personal archives on high quality equipment for free. But the Memory Lab is more than just digitization. It's also an online resource where we have step-by-step instructions on using the lab and the equipment. And then also we have additional resources online on personal archiving and preservation topics for the public. Lastly, a memory lab is a series of ongoing programs related to all these topics that I've talked about. So we have classes on preserving things like your family photographs, both analog and digital, understanding and preserving your social media accounts like Facebook or Instagram, as well as regularly holding home movie day screenings and other events that celebrate our local history and community. So, and as a heads up, we are having a virtual event open to all on the evening of December 7th, Home Movies for the Holidays. So please visit DCPL's calendar for more info on that event. The DC Public Library Memory Lab was such a success that in 2017, we applied for and received an Institute of Museum and Library Services National Leadership Grant to bring the Memory Lab model to a total of 14 other public libraries across the country and form a network. And you can see each of our chosen public library partners on these blue pins on the map. These partners each receive training, mentoring, and financial support to create their own Memory Lab programs in their communities. With this network of Memory Labs, there's once again going to be physical spaces, online resources, and classes and events, all at these various libraries across the US. While it's wonderful to have these additional Memory Labs, the network project was not intended to be focused only on the libraries in the official Memory Lab network. It was intended to use the experiences of the included partners to expand beyond, to generate a solid model that others can replicate. So to create a do-it-yourself way to build, manage, and sustain a do-it-yourself for the public Memory Lab. Our goal is to have memorylabnetwork.org be the one-stop shop for personal archiving resources for all people. And specifically to find the resources that we're creating, if you navigate from our homepage and click on the menu in the top right and choose resources, you'll see all of the resources that we've created funneled into different categories. In particular, I'd like to focus your attention on a document I'm currently working on that you can access right at the top of our resources page under Documents Requesting Feedback right there. And it takes you to a Google document that's a deep dive into planning, building, running, and sustaining a DIY, do-it-yourself memory lab, taken from all the experiences and lessons learned within the network so far. We still have a lot of work to do still that will be included, but we have learned a lot. A lot of these resources are pre-recorded virtual training sessions and exercises, especially in the introductory sections there, so they can easily be done remotely by those looking to start building or thinking about building a memory lab, which is great for right now where a lot of work is being done remotely. So if you're at all interested, please take a look at the document and its resources, and please give me any feedback either in the Google Doc or contact me via email, Twitter, etc., with any thoughts and your suggestions. In this document, the areas that need the most work are the expanding and sustaining of Memory Labs sections. We've done a lot of work and have some set plans, but there's still a lot of work ahead that I'd like to tell you about. I created a YouTube channel where we have been uploading videos specifically to YouTube for the captions that are generated, and it's really easy to go in and clean those up as well. So we want to be able to expand our access to more folks, and then to also use YouTube to reach a larger audience potentially. Don't forget to like and subscribe. A goal for the videos and all of our resources online as well is to translate everything to Spanish. So that is a major goal for us. We're also looking into potentially working with a consultant in curriculum development to see how we can best package all of our training, especially remotely, for when the project is finished and there's no longer a full-time person there to answer questions, and also to make sure that we're delivering all the lessons learned that we have come across and discovered in the best way possible for all. An interesting model that's popped up is through California Revealed and the California State Library. Our various resources that I mentioned, mostly in that Google document, have been used by California Revealed to help build their own Memory Lab grant program, which I just have a little screenshot there of their call, which is out right now. We have 4 California partners in the Memory Lab network. So we're going to be connecting those 4 partners with the chosen partners by California Revealed, so that then they can make their own larger network of California Memory Labs for the future. This is also a fantastic model for other states to follow in the US, I think. So state library systems or other state funded entities could end up funding equipment of the labs at various libraries or organizations in the state that maybe apply for a grant from them. And then they use our trainings and resources for free. Another area where we have expanded a bit and can expand more and hope to and plan to is in the area of adding formats to our Memory Lab partners' labs, physical spaces. So initially, we only fund the AV format for each partner to have VHS, and that's the only AV format that we focus on for them, because we find that if you have the base of VHS, then a lot of times you can expand to other formats pretty easily. And also, it's the most popular format at our Memory Lab. So in order to expand and sustain that expansion of formats across all 14 partners, and obviously ones outside of the network, we're very reliant on the DV Rescue Project through MEPOPs and Ricecapades, and the outcomes of that are going to be really important to all archives that work with DV, but then also I really see it being very helpful for Memory Labs in the future. It would be great to have software that is user-friendly, and especially for the non-technical, non-archivist focus, and that will be sustained by the AV archiving community for years to come, of course. Then also we have been trying to expand our video tutorials to include extra training for formats that if the library partners decide to use their own money to purchase, and or they get donated equipment from their communities. We have much more than just these 2 that I have on here, but I'll do a little tutorial on using the Wolverine. You know, it's limited in its capacity of what it can do, absolutely, but it's relatively safe on the film, and for the price and the public desire for their films to be digitized, this is something that a lot of libraries are absolutely putting their $750 towards. I also do a comparison using the same film that was scanned on a laser graphics film scanner. So just to kind of show the different, I mean, it's not perfect. There are also different frame rates and things like that, but just to show that like you are going to be getting a very different kind of product than if you send it out to a professional vendor who are using these much more expensive scanners. So that's something that just also, this is part of the Memory Lab, is making sure that everyone knows that they're informed on what the options are and what those options will cost them as far as resources in upfront, and then over time with digital storage as well. And then they can make their own decisions, informed decisions on what they're going to do. So yes, also we have other videos on fixing little problems with your audio cassette, like just putting that little felt tab in there yourself, making your own and put it in there to fix it. And we also have ways that you can take the tape and put it into a new shell. We have a tutorial on that, so that if someone gets a cassette deck donated or decides to purchase one themselves, we have that. It's an easy sort of teachable thing, and something to take to the public if they have the resources. One of the biggest areas we need to work on is how to sustain the lab's equipment. So we can expand all day, but once the mini DV deck goes down, then you are going backwards. So this is something we need to keep mentioning, and we are trying to keep mentioning over and over to funders and to administrators of libraries and labs, that there's a large one-time equipment cost up front, which for our library partners, we take care of, but that they need to fund maintenance care, service repair, and potential replacement of equipment and or parts. Our main focus for creating resources is on teaching the partners, hopefully, this is the goal, is to create resources on how to fix their own VHS decks. So focusing on that main video format that we purchase for all of our network partners, since it's the most popular. So we're really excited to work with the AV Kid project, which stands for Audio Video Known Issues Data. And this is a new initiative to gather a list of known issues found with equipment commonly used in AV preservation. Our focus, of course, is going to be on the known issues of VHS equipment. The work that we have on the equipment that we use at the different partners will be able to contribute to this project, but then also learn from others who are contributing to this project, and then hopefully maybe not make the same mistakes or not buy a certain VHS deck because we know that it's prone to issues and we don't have the funds to take care of those issues. Or maybe we will because we know that we can fix it ourselves in these specific areas. Along these lines, I've been trying to schedule more of our monthly professional development webinars on topics that will assist the partners in the future maintenance of their equipment. And so far, I've only gotten one of those done. But Morgan Morrell at BAVAC, and of course of AV Kid too, was generous enough to give an amazing tutorial in October on printed circuit boards and an intro to soldering. And I really recommend that you check it out. We also had Blake Hatton from our Pueblo City County Library District in Colorado partner, who has absolutely jumped on board with maintaining and servicing their own equipment. He gave a great talk to kind of applying a lot of things that Morgan talked about in the intro to soldering. So please check that out, and we're hoping to do more of those in the near future. Then lastly, a huge issue that is never going to go away when you're talking about personal digital archiving is how do we make sure that people don't lose the digital files that they created at the lab and that they're creating in their daily life that's born digital as well now. So I'm focusing once again our monthly professional development webinars on these topics. And Ethan Gates at the Yale Libraries, the software preservation analyst there, has helped us and has given 2 webinars for the partners on different topics. One is, the first one was a digital storage crash course. And then the most recent one was software emulation 101. So, we can give our partners access to a floppy disk drive that they just plug in and get their files off of their floppies. But then after that, we need to be able to be there for them, to be able to teach them and answer their questions as well on, how to then open those files, how to migrate those files, how to access them, and how to properly store them so that they'll be able to access them in the future. So please, I encourage you to get in touch with me with your questions and any feedback. And I really want to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And thank you in advance for helping us with the Memory Lab Network's future.